where we could receive messages that that we need. Sorry, I'm the producer. I'm the writer. I'm just looking at the YouTube. My camera's off. Is that what this is? My camera's off. There we go. Sorry, y'all couldn't see me. You know, one of these days we'll have a producer. We'll have someone that manages all this technology stuff. Kamisha and Miko. Welcome, my beautiful ones. So what I was saying was it's not surprising to me that Spirit would lead me to create an intimate service, a church service, a different kind of church, our church that is rooted in spiritual text, but not on anyone's like religious dogma and belief system more than it is whatever Spirit is saying is the message that needs to be brought for the day, however that message needs to be brought. And so for me, even having something like this space, which is our Sunday sanctuary, I needed to be willing. I needed to be willing to say yes, because I could have said no. I could have said no. That's not in alignment with what I want to do. I want to sleep in on Sundays and have breakfast in bed and binge watch whatever the fuck I want to watch on Netflix. And that's not what I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to answer my call in that way. I'm not willing to be in a spiritual community in that way. I'm not willing, right? I could do that, or I could say yes. Yes, Edwin. Yes, Spirit. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to the ways that you are guiding me. I am listening to the ways you are showing up and showing out in my life. And so this morning, as I listen to those messages, like everything's going to be okay. And I'm seeing these men build what is Ogun's house on El Santuario, on the land that is the sanctuary. It's very emotional for me because I'm thinking about everything all at once, right? The words that I want to bring to this, the words that I want to bring into this space, but also everything that I've fucking been through, all of the fires that I have lived through, all of the pain that I have endured, and to trust and know that everything is going to be okay is not easy to arrive to, but the message for me, the constant is I have to be willing. In what ways have I not been willing? In what ways am I completely willing to surrender to Spirit in the ways that are being divinely guided, right? So welcome. Welcome to Sunday Sanctuary. It is May 15th. I had pulled, excuse me, I had pulled a card yesterday when I was preparing for our conversation, our meditation, our reflection, and I pulled from the Heal Your Damn Self Oracle. And it says, share your gifts. How beautiful, right? Here we are on this Sunday, May 15th, sharing our gifts. We are here together, loving on one another. And so I'm going to start with a reflection from Iyanla Vanzant's Acts of Faith. It was the May 5th. It's what inspired today's talk, May 5th. When the door is closed, you must learn to slide across the sill. Yoruba proverb, reflection. Human beings are creatures of habit. We do what we know, what is comfortable, and what we think will work. There are, however, those occasions when our way is not the way to get us to the goal, when your way doesn't work, don't be disheartened. You must be willing to try another way. Don't be discouraged when someone says no. Be willing to ask someone else. Always be willing to start at the bottom. Being willing does not mean you will stay there. A closed door does not mean you have been cut off permanently. It is a challenge, an obstacle, a tool to be used. The keys to all doors are within you. If you have faith in yourself, practice and patience will make you a master locksmith. And the closing affirmation is I am willing to do it by any means honorable. I am willing to do it by any means necessary. So I thought that was a really beautiful reflection. And so the question that I posed when I was meditating on this talk this morning is what are you willing to lose to have the life you deserve? Sit with that for a minute. What are you willing to lose to have the life that you fucking deserve? The relationship that you deserve, the finances that you deserve, the opportunities that you deserve, the living experience, the home that you deserve, the car that you deserve, the opportunities that you deserve, the respect that you deserve. Um, what are you willing to lose? What are you willing to shift and change? What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to sacrifice? Sit with that for a moment. I want you to really hold that in your body. And I need you to repeat it. I am willing to lose this in order to have this. Answer it. Don't run from it. Answer it in the chat, family. Answer it in the chat. I want to see it. I want to feel your truth. Because if I'm being honest, y'all have been following me for a long time. We have been a spiritual community for a long time. We have broken bread together. We have cried together. We have laughed together. We have danced together. We have gotten drunk together. We've had a good time together in this spiritual community. But let's get fucking real. If you are really about it, and about stepping up your life, stepping into your life, you understand that there is a willingness to go balls in, balls out, whatever the fuck the expression is. How are you willing to go all in for the life that you want? When I think about all of the sacrifices that I have made, what are you willing to sacrifice? Not just the word sacrifice. What is a very direct thing you are willing to sacrifice to have the life you deserve? Are you willing to sacrifice your time with family and friends? Are you willing to fucking sacrifice sleep? Wake up at 5 a.m. for 5 a.m. sessions to vision and fucking and manifest the life you say you fucking want? Are you willing to, if I told you, y'all wouldn't believe me. Family, in just this phase one, there are 3 phases to this build, to the build. If I told you how much it cost me, and I told you how quickly the money came to me, you wouldn't believe me. But it's here 100%. 100%. I have raised 100% of the $1,500 goal for this weekend. 100%. If I told you how quickly the spirit guides guided me to this move, to DR, I moved in 6 weeks from the date that I said I was moving, and I was willing to sacrifice what my relationship looked like, my partnership looked like, what that meant for my daughters. I was willing to be here alone. What are you willing to lose? And what are you willing to change in your life? Like, that's really what we're getting at. What are you willing to change in your life? If my computer dies, family on the Zoom, the IG will stay on just because I'm not traveling with my charger. Let me get into this beautiful definition of willingness. Willingness. Willingness is a complete entrega, giving yourself over. I love that word, entregarse. I am willing to give myself over to this passion, to this project, to this new life change. I am willing to shift my relationships. I am willing to grow into my purpose. I am willing, let's begin to write some affirmations. I am willing to take my money and invest in me. I am willing to enroll in that class. I am willing to risk it all, to lose it all, to go for it any fucking way. I am willing to move even when I'm afraid. Willingness requires a surrendering. Windering requires fucking movement, action, shifting, giving yourself over to something greater and trusting that there is a net that's going to catch you when you jump. Willingness is something larger than you, something more powerful than you. Willingness means that you're obedient, that you're ready to surrender. You know that the old ways no longer serve you. You know that the old beliefs no longer align with you. You know that the old narrative is no longer who you are, where you are, and where you choose to be. You know that just hanging around with those old friends, those toxic friends, just drinking and smoking and fucking churning butter, all in the same position, talking about the same shit and doing nothing. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing but wasting fucking time. Are you willing to elevate? Are you willing to leave the comforts of those spaces that are going nowhere to have the fucking life that you know you are worthy of and so deserving of? Are you willing to lose everything you thought you needed to have everything that God is ready to give you? Are you willing to not play it safe? I am willing. I am willing to be bigger than I have ever been. I am willing to trust the way that the divine is guiding me. I am willing to go at it alone. I am willing to lose it all. I am willing to die and be reborn again. I am willing to end toxic relationships. I am willing to cut cords. I am willing. I am willing. I'm willing to stand in this new role of leadership in a Sunday sanctuary. I am willing to know that I may not be able to build the house in a week, but I know that you will provide for me. I am willing to trust the ways that you show up in my life, Spirit. And I'm so thankful. I am willing. I am willing. I am willing. I'm going to read you another meditation that I thought was really beautiful. May 11th, Spirit works on a full-time basis. Open quote. Life requires that we spend parts of our time doing certain things. We work sometimes, go to school at times, we are children or parents and friends part-time. The one area of life that cannot be addressed on a part-time basis is the spiritual life. To be a part-time Christian, a part-time Buddhist, a part-time Muslim, or part-time anything else results in a house divided against itself. A house divided against itself cannot stand. If you are not willing to purge the shit that you no longer carry, if you are not willing to take out the fucking trash, if you are not willing to allow your temple, your house to get burned down to the ground and build up from scraps, like we are doing with Ogun's house, we are building a firm fucking foundation, and we are not doing it half-assed. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Your spiritual house is your mind, and your spiritual house requires constant care. Spiritual conviction is the manner in which your house is run. When you have a spiritual conviction, it will serve you in all situations, all day, in every way. The same spirit that guides your family life will run your social life. If you turn to spirit for financial guidance, you must also ask for professional guidance. If you let spirit pick your friends, you must trust it to pick your mate. Part-time spirituality creates turmoil, inner turmoil, indecision, confusion, and stagnation. Once we let spirit take over full time, we will find life is more enjoyable and peaceful than we ever thought possible. The closing affirmation is, I let go and let spirit guide me every day in every way. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you fucking willing, family? Are you willing? We can't go at this shit half-ass. I'm all in. Look at how committed I am. I did not have to listen when they said, you will be building a sanctuary and people will come and pray with you and do yoga with you and break bread with you and put their hands in the earth and grow vegetables and fruit with you, and we will dance and we will drum and people will be initiated and they will receive religious gifts on this land, because they will. There will be ceremony. There will be what's the Native American practice when you go in a tent and with fire and stone. Someone help me, I can't think of the word right now. Come on, someone help me. It's an indigenous, yes to powwows. I'm with you, Nico, to having powwows. Yes to indigenous. It's a sweat lodge. Thank you, Priscilla. A sweat lodge. We're gonna have a sweat lodge on the land. We're gonna have a pool on the land. We're gonna have a gazebo where we have yoga outside on the land. There's so much I'm envisioning on this little land. We're gonna have writers' retreats, yoga retreats, Reiki on this land. I didn't have to do that though, right? I could have just bought land and it been my home where I chill and write my books. And that's it. It's a wrap. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't have to do that. But I was willing to listen to the way that Spirit was guiding and saying, but you are creating this for community and it's bigger than you. Even your writing is bigger than you, Alicia. Amen. I'm willing. And that's why I'm emotional. I'm very emotional this morning as I play it back and I play it back how we open and todo va a estar bien. And I'm a human being. I am a human being having this spiritual experience, or a spiritual being having this human experience, however we want to hold that in our body. I have bills that I pay. I have children that I support. I have elders that I take care of. I have students that I teach. I have a full life in addition to a very full spiritual life. And the fact that I'm always juggling how I am going to show up in the world as all of the things that I am sometimes feels like a burden, if I'm being fucking transparent, but most days it feels like a huge blessing. And so when I think about my own responsibilities, aside from raising money and building Ogun's house, I got 2 homes, other homes. I got Harlem, we have the Bronx, and we have the DR house. Like, todo va a estar bien. Todo va a estar bien. That's the message for me that I'm receiving this morning, that all is well, Alicia, as long as I am obeying how Spirit is guiding me. And obedience is a beautiful word. I know some of us come from cultures and upbringings where obedience was detrimental, like we were beat with like switches and belts and cords and like if you were raised like I was raised, you know, we feel each other, we know, we vibing, we understand. I don't have to say much. We understand what obedience was really rough. Obedience is beautiful because how I see obedience now is is my willingness. Obedience is willingness. Is my willingness to say, yes, God, I will do what you ask me to do. Spirit guides, I will do what you ask me to do. My dead, my ancestors, I will do what you ask me to do. Ogun, you want a fucking house? I will build that for you because I know that you are getting ready to give me everything that I have ever dreamt of and more than I have ever dreamt of. That is obedience. So he said, okay, you just got paid a grant. You just got a $5,000 artist grant that you could have used for yourself, Alicia. You could have taken that money. You could have gone on vacation. You could have bought yourself whatever the fuck you wanted for yourself because you are fucking deserving, because you are a fucking rock star. And I said I was going to take that money and I was going to pour it into El Santuario. Period. Because I know that Ogun is going to give me that tenfold. That $5,000 is nothing compared to what Ogun is getting ready to give me. And we bought our first material, and that's where we at. And that required a willingness and a trust too, right? Because many of us without money, even if it's $100, $10, $50, I get it. I get it. What are you willing to lose, to give up, to surrender, to have everything that you desire, to have the life you deserve? I know that little house I'm making, Ogun is getting ready to build the sanctuary. Trust and believe. You guys are going to watch and be like, yo, Alicia said that shit on May 15th, 2022 at 10:29 a.m. Mark that shit. Because I poured into this land, because we poured into that land, all of you who donated this weekend. Us building Ogun's house is going to build the sanctuary, and it's going to go up so fast. It's going to be like, whoa. And so, family, I am willing. Those are the words. I am willing. I'm willing to move. I am willing to move in the direction of my dreams. I am willing to leave toxic relationships. I'm willing to trust God. I'm willing to trust Spirit. I'm willing to trust myself. I'm willing to fucking shine my fucking light. I am willing. I'm willing to show up as my full expression and badassery. I am willing to fucking say no to every motherfucker who ain't going nowhere and ain't offering nothing. I am willing. I am willing. I'm willing to go alone. I'm willing to fail 1,000,000 times and get up again. I'm willing. I'm willing to die and be reborn. I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm willing to learn something new. I'm willing to ask for help. Yes. Are you willing? And that's our meditation and our Sunday sanctuary for today. Let me read your comments. Take your time, Onyx. Take your time. I'm so proud of you, Barbara. It's beautiful. And you're not alone because you have me. This year journey is it's going to be a lot, but you are not alone. You are not alone. It really is about getting to know yourself, right? What are the right things to give up? I love that question, Nico, right? I'm not sure what else I could give up for the life that I want. I think the discipline is the part. That's the word. Spirituality is not a part-time practice. I think even for me, and I think that's also why I was very emotional this morning when the song Todo va a estar bien was playing, because everything's going to be okay. Stepping into this role of leading like a Sunday service where I am just being a vessel for whatever messages Spirit is sending to me requires discipline, requires that I prepare for it ahead of time because I'm a cappella with it. My clubhouse meditations, when we do an IG live, this requires something else because you want to be really intentional about the message that you want to deliver and share, right? And how you want to show up. And so discipline requires that, like